Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, gripped by a searing leg cramp, like someone's twisting your muscle with a steel wire, leaving you gasping in the dark? My grandma Evelyn, 74 years old, thought it was just part of getting old. She ate regularly, walked daily, and her doctor even said, "Your health's better than most 60-year-olds." Yet every night, like clockwork at 3 a.m., she'd jolt awake from leg cramps. She drank enough water, ate fruit, cut back on salt. But the pain kept coming back as predictable as a ticking clock. Then she heard about a special group of foods that prevent leg cramps in seniors. It sounded simple, but the truth shocked our whole family. The healthy foods she ate every day were silently throwing off her electrolyte balance and weakening her leg muscles. Grandma Evelyn had no idea that certain sweet fruits or carb-heavy dinners could trigger those midnight cramps. I'll tell you her journey from misunderstanding to discovery, to finally breaking free from relentless nighttime pain. It all started with a small flyer from church and a lunch that changed her life. Still think leg cramps are just about age-eating healthy, but still cramping every night. This video will reveal the truth that many seniors never hear from their doctors. Watch to the end, because you'll learn exactly which foods silently cause leg cramps in people over 60, and which foods that prevent leg cramps in seniors actually work. Comment below. Do your cramps hit during the day or at night? Don't forget to subscribe for more helpful videos, because this isn't just my grandma's story. It could be yours or someone you love. When she was young, Grandma Evelyn was a nurse. She helped countless patients recover from strokes from injuries. But when nighttime leg cramps started tormenting her, she didn't seek a cure, she quietly endured. "I'm 74, sweetie, old age just weakens your legs," she told me when I urged her to see a doctor again. She wasn't angry, didn't complain, just spoke calmly, like it was a fact of life for the elderly. Every time she walked into the dining room, I noticed her moving slower. Her hand gripped the table, her step small, like she was testing the ground with each one. But she still smiled, asked if I'd eaten, as if everything was fine. By day she coped, but at night, it was hell. One night, staying over at her house, I heard a groan at 3 a.m. I rushed in. She was clutching her calf, face contorted, teeth gritted. "Every time it hits, I just pray it passes quickly," she said. She took magnesium every night. She cut back on salt. She ate bananas because people said they're rich in potassium, good for muscles. But nothing changed. The cramps kept coming, and she started to believe. Her body was slowly breaking down. According to Mayo Clinic, up to 60% of people over 60 experience leg cramps at night at least once. And more than half of them don't seek help, thinking it's just a natural part of aging. Grandma was one of them. Part of it was her nursing background. She knew bodies decline with age, but that knowledge made her give up. I started seeing a change in her eyes. No longer sharp, no longer sparkling with joy after meals. She went to bed earlier, not from tiredness, but from fear of sudden pain if she stayed up late. Once she said, "Poor sleep makes old folks foggy, you know." It sounded like a joke, but it broke my heart. Then one day, I found out she'd quietly stopped all her supplements. When I asked why, she just shook her head. "Nothing helps, sweetie. At this age, you just accept it." If you've heard an older loved one say that, you know the helplessness, the feeling when someone you care about loses faith in change. But what neither she nor I knew then was age isn't always to blame. And some foods she thought were good were actually making her body more imbalanced. It all started at a community event at St. Agnes Church. It was a Sunday, soft sunlight filtering through, and Grandma Evelyn attended as usual. After the service, the senior group gathered in the tea room, a weekly ritual. A woman named Nancy, in her early 70s, stood up to share how leg cramps had robbed her of sleep for years. "But now, I sleep 6 hours straight every night," she said, beaming. I wasn't there. But Grandma recounted it with amazement, because Nancy had once been frailer than her. After the talk, the church passed around a small A5 flyer printed on both sides. The bold title read, "Foods that Prevent Leg Cramps in Seniors," based on clinical nutrition studies. Grandma said, "I just took it to read for fun." Who would have thought? That night, she read every word. The flyer explained how electrolyte imbalances, especially low magnesium, potassium, and calcium, are a silent cause of leg cramps in people over 60. But what stunned her was the list of foods to avoid. Overripe bananas can spike blood sugar and disrupt electrolytes. White bread or white rice at dinner easily depletes potassium overnight. Watermelon eaten late mildly diuretic, causing subtle dehydration you don't notice. And those foods, they were staples in her daily diet. A banana before bed, a few slices of toasted white bread with butter, or a glass of fruit juice after dinner. She thought she was being healthy, but those choices were quietly triggering her pain. The flyer also listed foods that clearly prevent cramps. Avocado rich in potassium and magnesium stabilizes electrolytes. Cherries contain anthocyanins reducing mild muscle inflammation. Dark leafy greens like kale or spinach boost magnesium absorption. Low sugar coconut water delivers electrolytes without spiking insulin. Salmon or sardines packed with omega-3s improving blood flow. Grandma folded the flyer, lost in thought. Not because the information was groundbreaking, but because for the first time she saw a way out. No pills, no infusions, just changing how she ate. "I never thought a ripe banana could hurt me," she said. "But if swapping a few things at dinner and starting fresh could help, why not?" The next day, she called me, "Can you take me to Whole Foods this afternoon?" I was shocked. She hadn't been this proactive since retiring. But her voice was different that day, like a spark had reignited inside her. That afternoon, I watched her pick out avocados, bunches of kale, and ask the staff about low-sugar coconut water, and I knew she was starting over. From something small, a little A5 flyer, and a belief rekindled over a quiet lunch. The next morning, Grandma Evelyn called me earlier than usual. Not to complain, not to recount another painful night, but to ask me to print out that flyer again. This time, she wanted it taped to the fridge. "I think I need to start over. Smarter this time," she said, her voice firmer than ever. I'd never heard her call her eating habits smart until that moment. We reworked her menu together. Not just what to eat, but when, how much, and what to pair it with. Avocado, no longer with bread, but mixed with kale and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. Cherries, just 5 small ones eaten at 7 p.m. after the main meal. Coconut water swapped for herbal tea in the afternoon before 7:30 p.m. Leafy greens moved from dinner to lunch for better mineral absorption. Salmon eaten Tuesday and Friday nights, paired with roasted sweet potato instead of white rice. At first I ate like a robot. Now I'm picking the golden hour, I teased. She laughed. My body's old, but my mind still knows how to plan. The first week of timed eating showed no big changes. But by the second week, She said something that stopped me in my tracks. Last night, I didn't cramp, and I dreamed I was walking in a forest. I didn't say anything. I just sat there, holding her hand, feeling a new life stirring in her aging body. Then one Thursday morning, she said, "Last night, I slept on my side all night without waking once." It sounded simple, but for someone who woke 3 times a night from leg pain, it was a miracle. Grandma Evelyn started sleeping deeper, waking lighter. No more rubbing her left leg with her right hand. No more thump when she stepped out of bed. Instead, there was the soft hum of the radio, the smell of oatmeal pancakes, and her quietly singing in the kitchen. One day, I asked her, "What if someone else is going through what you did and hasn't found a way out?" She thought for a moment, then said, "If they'd listen, I'd tell them, don't blame age. Sometimes, just one avocado at the right time is enough." My eyes stung, not because of the avocado, but because of her, the return of a woman who thought she was fading away each night. Her change didn't come from a pill, not from some miracle promise. It came from understanding her body again and applying the right foods that prevent leg cramps in seniors in a way that fit her. That night, she texted me, "Come over tomorrow. I'm making avocado and cashew salad for you." I knew it wasn't just a salad. It was her way of saying, "I'm coming back to life little by little." If you take one thing from this video, let it be Grandma Evelyn's words. Don't blame age. Sometimes just one avocado at the right time is enough. Leg cramps aren't something you have to endure just because you're over 60. There are foods that prevent leg cramps in seniors, but they only work if you understand how and when to use them. Grandma Evelyn didn't just change her meals. She changed how she trusted her body. And with that, she reclaimed her sleep, her steadiness, and her joy in each day. Are you on a journey like hers? Or do you have a loved one, a parent, an aunt, an uncle, who thinks, at this age, you just deal with it? Share this video with them. Let them know age doesn't take everything, not if you choose the right foods to put in your body each day. Drop a comment. Have you or a loved one tried changing foods to reduce cramps? What worked best for you? I read every single one, and your story might inspire someone else. And if you want to keep going on this journey, the next video will surprise you. Warning: 3 healthy foods to avoid before bed. They could make your leg cramps worse. You know what to eat. But if you're still eating certain foods at dinner, all your efforts might be for nothing. Watch it next to protect yourself and the legs you rely on every night.